This is Reverend Morris, and I have a question.
Yes.
I think that obviously you're doing a wonderful job. You're new to position, and so on and so forth. And we appreciate the professionalism that you're bringing to the position. I do have a question, though, about your report, about your meetings. You said that you want to first establish certain relationships with these government officials. So my question is, at what point will you circle back and start to address the existing challenges that we have with some of these individuals, and namely our police department?
Yes.
And I really want to find out where you stand on that, if it's appropriate to ask that question at this time. If not, I'll hold the question. But where do you circle back in your meetings and start to address the challenges? Because your thoughts and your feedback to these agencies are very important to the more than 20 or more organizations across the county that are working on various issues in reference to police accountability.
Yes. Thank you for the question, Rev Morris. One of the things that I'm trying to do, and this is my approach, every president is different. My approach is to make sure I have a good rapport with these government officials. After we have a good rapport, then you're in a position, I believe, to address things more specifically. In more than one of my meetings, some of these government officials were upset about things that were put in the media from people who are part of this branch negatively about them. So before I can even talk to them about addressing anything specifically, I got to make sure first I had to address that with the meeting, and then once I finally got them to a place where I believe we had a beautiful, beautiful rapport, they asked for another meeting. So as I go forward with the meetings in the future, the next meeting or the third meeting, then I can become more specific. I did not want to approach them with specific things. Even I did with one thing that Rev Morris brought to my attention. I did that one particular thing I did address with one of the officials. But I'm trying to wait till I got a good, solid relationship with them. They can trust Reverend Jones. So when I come to them with something, they know Reverend Jones is not a person about frivolousness, and I'm very serious in what I'm doing. So my approach is give me another 2 or 3 meetings, and then I can start talking to them about specifics. That's the plan. Okay. Thank you,
Sir, may I respectfully respond to that? Because when you say the NAACP, and I'm not trying to hold up the meeting, we have to move on, but the NAACP has been instrumental, if I take myself for an example, in supporting supporting and going forward, advocating on behalf of matters in reference to the death of my daughter. You all have been there. There have been multiple presidents before you. So when you tell me at this point, and we'll talk about this further, when I'm literally saying to everyone under the sound of my voice, that Chief Awad has her knee on my neck, literally, in the name of Jesus, if you want to go there, with my daughter's case. And it is a deliberate abuse of power right now in the presence of anybody that's ever lost a child. She has stopped. This thing has come to her door. She has stood up and she has said no. So I just want to put that on the record that I'm hoping that you will reconsider this, and excuse me, I'm sorry about the phone, that you'll just give it some thought for further conversations, and we won't have to wait 2 or 3 meetings. The respect for you and your position and the NAACP is already present. You brought with you, in my observations, the way you handle things, that you are a force to be reckoned with when you speak. So that respect should already be there. And I don't think that it should take you 2 or 3 meetings to speak as I've seen you do and admired you doing, that you get to the point. So again, I respectfully step back and allow the meeting to go forward. But to ask somebody to wait 2 or 3 meetings, when I've been in this fight for 10 years and Chief Awad has stood up and blocked it right now, all that's been done in my daughter's case, and you all have been there, I'll be quiet. But I respectfully put that there for further consideration. Thank you for your patience, and I pray I'm not out of order with this as we move forward as a community in addressing these matters. Thank you for this time, sir.
Thank you for your opinion, Rev Morris. I respect your opinion, and as I said, I did speak to her about the matter. But thank you very much, and as I believe as the relationship gets better, I believe we can do some more things.
I have a question. What do you consider to be the racial advancement, the advancement of the race? Does that include what does that include for you in terms of how to advance, what advancement means? And since we're going by the bylaws, what do you consider advancement to mean, and what other aspects of, we talk about intersectionality, talk about gender and class and all these other different issues. And we've heard issues around gender concerns with this branch and in the NAACP in general. Do you consider that to be a part of your moving forward and advancing the organization?
Let me tell you what my thoughts are, and hopefully this will answer this question forevermore, because I've heard something along these lines. My focus is not gender. My focus is not sexual orientation. My focus is the charter goal of the NAACP to champion equal rights and elimination of racial prejudice and to advance the interests of colored people in the areas of education, employment, legal rights, and voting rights. That's my focus. And so as I stay in line with the charter goals of the NAACP, I know I got the support of the Constitution and the bylaws. That's my focus. That's really pretty much all I have to say on that.
And in terms of political action, what do you consider to be, how do you seek to advance political action through the branch? Is it through your meetings alone? Is it through just discussions with political elected officials? I mean, Democrats specifically. Do you have other ways that you plan on engaging the branch in regards to the membership being politically active?
Of course I do, sir. But as I said to you, my focus is the charter goals of the NAACP. There are various ways we can do that. Don't ever put Reverend Jones in a box. We're getting to know one another. People don't really know Reverend Jones. Don't put me in a box. Whatever I can do to accomplish the charter goals of the NAACP, that's what I will use, sir. There's no one particular method or one particular way. I'm open to effectively reach our goals. And my meetings with these officials, I believe, is a first major step to make sure they're comfortable when I come in and talk to them. And I believe that's the first step for me trying to accomplish our goals. So any method that will be effective in that regard, I will use. Okay. Also,
we have a question. I'm sorry.
Another question.
It's Reverend Morris.
Who is it?
Again. It's Reverend Morris again. You know, I really pray that I want us to be able to obviously work forward as a unit and address these things. And I just want you to know, and maybe I'm out of order, please God forgive me if I'm out of order, but just a couple of things that are really, when we talk about the advancement and where we stand as a people, and these are a couple of things that are actually brewing right now with see, we can't wait, is what I want to stress to you, sir.
Okay, very much. Excuse me for cutting you off. Could you? I'm gonna give you 1 minute, so we want to move on.
All right, I'll take the 1 minute. Right now, with our police, and everyone hear me, I don't want to shock you. Right now, we have the issue with the police department of oh God, what is the word? What I've been saying for the last few years, the roadside cavity searches. And someone called me yesterday from the DOJ and said, you need to make that plain. That's putting a finger up somebody's ASS. And they've been doing that to our Black and brown persons. Okay, this is no joke. This is verified by a former state's attorney. That's probably 30 of my seconds. The second thing we have brewing in our community right now is we just looked at this person that got Officer of the Year for the most traffic stops. They got Officer of the Year. They issued 1,700. This is just, and I just verified this the last 2 days. They issued 1,700 citations in Anne Arundel County. 78% of those citations were to Black and brown persons when we only represent 19.2% of the population. We have got to talk. We have got to move forward as an agency. And I just want you and the NAACP to be abreast of what's coming so you're not left out as we build our relationships. Thank you very much for my minute. God bless you and take care.
Thank you, Reverend Morris.
I did have another question about whether you consider sexual orientation to be a part of the advancement of Black people. You said you don't want to focus on gender. You don't consider gender and sexual orientation to be part of the advancement. Is that what you're saying?
No, it's not what I'm saying. I'm saying that's not my focus. My focus is the charter goals of the NAACP, and then do what we need to do to reach that, brother. That's my position. I don't really have anything else to add to that, sir. Okay, so let's proceed, brothers and sisters. We can.
I'm sorry, I can't do this reactive thing in terms of the emoji, but you know, I find that statement offensive because gender and sexual orientation is included in anybody's racial advancement, anybody's, and that is part of the NAACP on a national level. that is being attended to on a national level. Now,
Okay.
this branch is too important to this county to ignore certain things. And these are the things that lead to lawsuits. And we
Okay.
don't need that.
Again, no one heard me
So,
say ignore, I'm ignoring anything. I said I'm
okay,
gonna
thank you
pursue
for
the charter
sharing.
goals.
Thank you, because that's what it sounded like. It
It
sounded like that.
Could I make a quick statement, quick recommendation?
Okay.
I should take less than a minute.
Okay.
Based on my corporate background, whenever you have a new leader in place, he or she would have what they would call as office hours. So I'm just making this as a suggestion, Reverend Jones. Maybe consider having specified times throughout the month in a Zoom session that I would consider as an office hour, where members of this organization, if they have an open-ended question for you, I would suggest you take the opportunity. It could be a one-on-one session, a group session, just to allow them to get more familiar with it. Obviously, we don't have the chance to do it at this time because we have business to do.
Right.
But I would advise you to please take that under consideration as you're, again, trying to make sure you're familiar with not only me, but everyone in the branch to understand what your position as far as leading this organization.
Gotcha,
Just a
sir.
recommendation.
Gotcha.
It's up for you to choose to do that.
I'm gonna certainly consider that, sir. Okay, at this point here, what I